We just landed. How long ago did we land? 3 or 4 hours ago. And we drove 2.5 hours to the Loire Valley. We're gonna have a quick lunch, and this hotel is beautiful. That meal was so good. It was 3 courses. I'm gonna walk over to the hotel to see the hotel. It was 3 courses. So it included like the appetizer, an entree, and then dessert for 42 euros. I'm still going through like a DI issue, so I just had a little sip of my husband's wine, which was a local wine. But it was absolutely amazing. The service was impeccable. The grounds are so beautiful. So it's definitely worth a stop if you guys are coming to the Loire Valley, because honestly, everything was incredible. So we're walking around waiting for my mom, and then we're gonna head out and go to our hotel, maybe wait for our room to be ready, and then get some rest because we are so jet lagged. I think this is the main hotel, and there's like a little bar down there. They have a beautiful outdoor courtyard and then some green lawn, and they also have some sculptures around the corner. So they have a lot of art here. The greenery here is, oh, it's like a fairy tale. It's so beautiful, and I love all the sculptures around. And then this is their spa. The spa is by Clarins, the French brand. And then we had lunch back there at Le Bistrot. So you don't have to be at the hotel or be a guest to be able to have lunch here and enjoy the evening here. We are in Blois now. This is the Château of Blois. It was the house of kings and queens here in France in the 16th and 17th century, and it is so gorgeous. These are the little towns of Europe that I love visiting, that a lot of people kind of don't come to, that have so much history and like so many things to do and see. the weather has been absolutely gorgeous. It's Saturday, so there's tons of families and kids, which is really nice. And we're not gonna go into anything because we arrived only a few hours ago and we're so jet lagged and we're so tired. But just walking around the city, spending a few hours is just really pleasant. And if you guys have extra time, the Chateau and the Houdini house are the best options.
Mira las cúpulas esas, esos lookouts. Ahora no se ve, pero me imagino que en esa época se veía todo el valle.
What did you guys think of our little Blois walk?
Oh my goodness, this is the most charming, beautiful, enchanting French town that I've been to. The people, the streets, the architecture. It's just fabulous.
Very cute, very cute. I don't think you need to spend a lot of time here though. I think you can, in 30 minutes, if you have no time, just stop by and see the outside of the chateau and the Houdini house. And walk around the park. Yeah, and if you have a little bit more time, we weren't able to explore some of the shopping and like the old town. So if you have more time, definitely. There's some museums and you can spend a half day here easily or even a day. My friends, it is day one in the Loire Valley. Mr. Brooks is taking a shower. We had the worst jet lag. I see, I'm still processing. We had the worst jet lag. I also think it had to do with the fact that we got to France and then we had to get in the car and then drive over, have lunch, and we kind of also had like a very active day, but we checked in yesterday. We were planning to go and grab dinner at the hotel restaurant, and then as soon as we got to our room, we were just like dead. We slept for almost 14 hours, but now it's around 7:30. The sun is coming out, so we're gonna get ready, go and grab some early breakfast, go and see the animals, and then start our 4 beautiful days here in the Loire Valley. I don't think you guys can see, but look how magical this looks. I feel like I'm inside a fairy tale book. It is so beautiful. The lighting, the old barn houses, there's some employees trailing, getting a lot of luggage in and out. It's Sunday here, and this hotel has a lot of local people from Paris and other parts of France that stay here, but it is so beautiful. It's like a luxury camping trip in the French countryside. Have you ever seen French chickens? Good morning, guys. Good morning. We are doing our first morning stroll around the property. We just saw some chickens and goats, and then we're gonna get ready to have breakfast. We're waiting on my parents, but it is a beautiful day and the weather is absolutely stunning. So I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of the property. I bet this in the spring is so pretty. And when I meant stunning, the weather is crisp. It's not too cold. It's not warm. I have a light jacket, jeans on, and it feels so good. And it's like the perfect weather for exploring and walking around the woods this morning. This is way bigger than we thought it would be. The bee houses are back there. They're far away from people. Apiary, they don't know the formal word for them. I cannot wait to try their honey. I bet it's gonna be delicious. Each of these houses used to be a barn house, and they're all now rooms, and each house has a name. So we are here in the flower room. This used to be the pig house. There's also the horse house. This is the house of the fruits, and each of them has some of the rooms. And then the castle, the Sources Castle, also has suites. We wanted to stay closer to the animals and to all the nature, but I think if we come next time, we'll definitely want to stay in the castle, and I'll show you guys that later. Yeah, so this is this black swan of the property. We saw her yesterday, and apparently they told us she's all over the property, so we might see her anywhere. And she's so beautiful. I don't know if you guys can see her well here, but I'll try to get her up close later. So this is Les Favori, their Michelin restaurant, and this is where we're gonna eat tonight, which I'm really excited about. Definitely bring boots if you're coming here, or shoes that you don't mind getting dirty or wet if you're coming in the fall. Now we're walking towards the house, the manor, kind of like the castle of the property. And I just spotted that swing here in the tree, and it's so fairy tale, romantic. Love it. I mean, this property, I really feel like I'm inside a book. We just left breakfast. It was so good. Honestly, the best thing about traveling is just eating. It is one of my favorite parts of traveling. I would travel just for food and to try regional items. And the Loire Valley is better known for their goat cheese. They also have wines, and they do a lot of agriculture. So driving into the Loire, we saw corn, we saw cows, we saw tons of goats for the goat cheese, a lot of wildflowers as well that were, on their way out because of the season. But very excited to try a lot of the local produce, and the breakfast was delicious. We had some goat cheese from the region. I love French eggs, and I actually try to make my eggs like that. I don't like dry eggs. I like fluffy, like super creamy eggs, and that's what they had today. And we also had a little bit of pastries and coffee, which was really delicious. So we are now going to get the car and then explore the town of Cheverny, where the hotel is located, and then go and visit the castle before a spa day. Cheverny this morning and we came to the Château de Cheverny. It is one of the only chateaus that's still with the same family from 600 years ago. So it's still owned by the Cheverny, El Conde de Cheverny, the Count of Cheverny. Yes, the Count of Cheverny. You cannot buy the tickets online, so you buy them here. There were 1950 euros for the gardens, the house, and also the Tintin exposition. Tons of kids here, so it's great for families if you have children. They also have the most wonderful pumpkin patch display right now for autumn. And if you know about the Tintin caricature, it's actually based on this chateau, which is so interesting. I used to watch Tintin as a little girl. It's a really cute and interesting tidbit of information. So anyways, I'm going to share with you guys now the chateau and what we're going to be seeing here today. They have the most beautiful pumpkin patch display right now. It's so chic. Look at this. This is something I would 1000% try to mimic back home. And look at this little tree with the pumpkins. That's such a great idea. No, it's so chic. And I think part of the reason... Oh, look at the hound dogs back there. Oh yeah, eso es lo que le dan comida. Wow, these hound dogs are hunting hound dogs. We're gonna go and see them later. No, but I am obsessed with all the pumpkin display for the fall. Alright, we just finished the Cheverny Castle tour. It was pretty. It's a self-guided tour. They give you a little booklet with information. It's not overwhelming. It's small. I think it takes 30 to 40 minutes. And we come out through the back and they have some beautiful gardens here that we're going to go and explore now. But I think it's definitely worth a stop if you're in the Loire Valley and staying nearby Cheverny. Came to the House of Cheverny wines. They represent all of the wines of this region and they have a tasting room, so if you don't have time to go to wineries then this is a great option. So they are traditional blended wines. The whites are usually Sauvignon Blanc, and they have a little bit of Chardonnay sometimes. It seems like they're pretty fresh. And they have a few little facts here. The region started growing during the Renaissance. Obviously the soil is very fertile because it's right next to the Loire Valley, which has very fertile land. That's why this region has mostly areas of agriculture. Okay, we are now the Maison de Vins de Cheverny. So for 21 euros, we got 3 tastings of 7 wines, and it's really cool because it comes with this little QR code or something that you put on the platform, and then 7 times it'll pour the wine for you. And then they also gave us a little book where we can do tasting notes and kind of like review. So great price and a great way to discover the wines of the region. Okay, I am on wine number 7. Are you on wine number 7 too? No. 6.
Number 6.
And the region is better known for their whites than the reds, and they are amazing. Sauvignon Blanc and Chardonnay for whites, and then Pinot Noir, some Gamay in the reds, but super fun experience, very affordable for 21 euros, having 3 people taste 7 wines. Great deal if you're a Cheverny. We just had lunch in this little Italian restaurant. It's very quirky. I think it's only one of 2 restaurants in Cheverny. The food was good. It wasn't nothing to write home about, but we do have 4 days of French food ahead of us, so we're trying to take a little break. We also weren't that hungry, so we wanted something a little less heartier than a full course 3 meal. There's also this restaurant called Caudalie, and yeah, and it looks pretty good. But it's a little bit more traditional and a little bit heartier, so we were trying to do something lighter, and we had a salad and a very thin crust pizza, so I think we made a good choice. Now we're going back to the hotel. We're going to the spa and just to have a leisurely afternoon before we have dinner at their Michelin restaurant, Les Favori. So it's been a very pleasant day. The weather is fantastic. I'm just wearing a sweater, jeans, boots, and then my trench coat. But honestly, you just need a light sweater, and it's the end of October. So we have gotten very blessed with the weather this week. Just finished wonderful treatments here at the spa by Caudalie at the Sources de Cheverny. It was so relaxing. My therapist was amazing. The spa is very small, only has a communal pool with room temperature water, a hammam, and then one waiting area for everyone. But the windows make you feel like you're in the middle, like outdoors in the middle of the countryside, which we are, but they had to do an amazing job bringing that inside. And the facilities are small, but very clean, everything you need. Sorry about that. We are in the country, but definitely worth a stop and worth an evening if you are coming here. You can also come if you're not a guest, and for $42, you can spend the day at the pool and the hammam if you don't want to get a treatment. But perfect experience, great treatments, and obviously Caudalie products, which are classic French and very good quality. just wanted to come and kind of do a quick recap of the day. It is our second day here. It is the end of the second day. And it's been an amazing one. Jamie and I love doing what we call slow traveling, where we are not people that can fly somewhere and then do like 20 cities or 5-6 cities in one trip. We like doing regional travel where we go somewhere for a week and then spend time in a region, or at least do 1 or 2 cities. I think the most we've ever done is 3. And usually we stick with 2 because we don't want to be rushed. We want to enjoy our time. We want to really say we've been somewhere and that we really know the place and that we really know the food, the region, the wines, the sites. So we love slow traveling. So this trip, most of our time is going to be focused on the Loire Valley, and we are not able to explore all of it. I could have easily designed like a jam-packed Loire Valley itinerary, but I decided to not do it. So we are only doing the east of the Loire Valley. So we'll do the west at some other point. We really want to come back because Jake wants to come to Le Mans, which is a circuit that does the 24 hours. So I think our next trip we'll do the west of the Loire. We'll do it around Le Mans. So that will be great. But today we were able to wake up and be rested from the jet lag. I really think I slept like 14 hours last night, which was so needed and so important. Let me close the door. I did wake up a few times throughout the night, but I forced myself to go back to sleep because I knew I needed to get through the night so that my internal watch could be regulated. The best thing about it, and this is something that my Italian professor told me, I did not know this, but France's time changed last night or this morning, which means that we actually gained a whole hour. So it was the perfect day to come because we were able to steal an hour from France and sleep an extra hour, which was just what we needed. I truly think that if you guys are coming this way, Cheverny, I know it's one of the smaller castles, but I think it's a castle worth visiting because it is still owned by the family. It's one of the only castles in the Loire region, I think maybe in France, that is still owned by the original family that had it 600 years ago. And you can tell because the decor, the curated and manicured lawn, like everything had a personal touch. How they had the house decorated for fall, the tablescape was fall theme, all the pumpkin patches around, everything was so beautiful. So you can definitely tell that there is someone who loves that place, that is curating the place and upkeeping the place. So definitely worth the stop. We also saw the Tintin exhibition, which is a cartoon that I used to watch when I was a little girl. My husband used to watch it too, so it was really fun for us to be able to see Cheverny, which was what inspired the manor in the cartoons. And then right across the street, which is perfect, we had the wine tasting, and honestly, it's such a great deal. Cheverny is a really small region of wine. It's a newer appellation too. And the wines are really rustic. You can tell that they're a baby appellation, but I love tasting new wines and knowing new regions, and it's such a niche region to know that just being able to taste a bunch of wines and now understand what they are, what the grapes are, what the blends are, what the terroir is, what the style is really fun. And it was only 21 euros for 3 tastings of 7 wines each. I try to get the girl to tell me which ones are the best, but she wouldn't because she said she's not allowed, which I completely understand because they're supposed to represent the entire region. But totally worth the stop, and it's right across from Cheverny, so it was a perfect little morning. The spa is very small. I'm gonna be honest, I've been to better spas in terms of amenities, but it does feel like a farmhouse luxury spa. So you do have the hammam, you do have the pool that was the perfect temperature, and the treatment rooms are small. So it's a very no frills kind of, pool, hammam, and your rooms kind of spa. So it's not fancy, basic, but the treatment was awesome. And honestly, I think what draws interest in this hotel, at least for me and for my husband, is the setting. We are in the middle of the French countryside with an entire forest like right when you come in, horses and chickens and goats. The weather is beautiful and you are just surrounded by so much nature. You can get your bikes, you can do a picnic. They also have tennis courts, they have outdoor pools, they have archery, they have forest foraging. So you can just come here and spend 2 days just at the hotel doing the activities at the hotel. So I think I would love to come back and just spend 2 days at the hotel. I would love to do the forest foraging tour. I would love to do the archery. I would love to do the forest picnic. I mean, there's so many amazing curated options here. But unfortunately, we also want to explore the region, so it's just not that kind of a trip. We did that earlier this year at the Cotswolds, where we didn't do a lot. We just stayed at the hotel and it was the most perfect little weekend. But this one, it's more of a exploring kind of trip. And we're also with my parents. So we want to get in the car and go and see the region. I keep using the word staycation and my husband's like, babe, this is not a staycation. We don't live in France. But what I mean by staycation is just staying in the hotel, enjoying the property, not going anywhere, and making the hotel kind of the vacation, which we've done a lot. There's a lot of countries where we've gone where we are drawn to the hotel. And there's different types of trips. There's trips where you just want to rest, and there's trips where you want to explore. And we have had trips where the hotel is the trip. We want to go to the property because of how amazing the hotel is, and we stay at the hotel the whole weekend. And then we opted to stay here. We made the reservations a while back, but we had dinner at Les Favori, which is a 1-star Michelin restaurant here at the hotel. And the food was fantastic. It was all like regional stuff. So you did feel like it was a fall menu. All was like produce and meats from the area, locally sourced. Even though the dinner was spectacular, the dinner was so long. I don't know if they were understaffed, but it took 3 hours and it would take really long times in between courses, and then it would take them a really long time to come and retrieve the plates from us. So by the end of the dinner, we were kind of like wanting it to be over. That is one of the downfalls of these types of dinners, that they're very long, they're extended, and when you've been traveling, even though we've gotten some rest and we are better rested today, you're still kind of like wanting to go to bed and sleep. So that was the only thing, the only critique that I have. But obviously it's so convenient to just walk back to your room after having a Michelin dinner like 30 seconds away here at the property. And the property is so beautiful too. It's just a really nice stroll. But either way, we are going to bed now because it's been a long 2 days, but I will be sharing more of beautiful friends and the beautiful Loire with you guys, and we will have an amazing